let's talk about the big thing that we're all going through, how to release fear in any situation. Let's just jump right into it and talk about fear.
So one thing that you need to understand is your body the feelings in your body are vibrational frequencies and actually chemicals. And every single cell, the 50 to 100 trillion cells of your body, vibrate at the frequency of your feelings. So the number one way to release fear in any circumstance, and I love that we're jumping right in because this is a very fearful time for people, especially if they're watching the news, which I really highly recommend that they stop watching the news, that they actually get out in nature as much as they can. But one of the things that you have to understand about your feelings is that every cell in your body vibrates at that frequency. So what will happen is that frequency will send a signal to your mind to start to think more thoughts that create that add to that frequency. So if you're afraid, what's going to happen is your body, which is actually the cells of your body are actually conscious. That's a whole different topic. But so what happens is the very first thing you have to do is you have to acknowledge that you're feeling that without going into the stories that your mind starts to create about it and make it worse. So what you want to do with fear is you want to breathe into it and let it be in your body. So I work with women who struggle with their weight most of their life, and that's why I wrote the book. And the number one thing that they have is that the feeling that they're not good enough, the feeling of frustration, and that frequency builds on itself. And the only way that you can really start to release that fear is to stop going into your mind about it and to actually use your breath, because your breath is life. And we can survive like a month without food, 5 to 6 days without water, if that, and minutes without air. So you want to feel the feeling in your body and literally put your hands on your heart. When you actually touch your heart, you actually drop into your heart. And then you want to inhale and feel the feeling expand in your body, like you're trying to expand it. And a lot of people get afraid that when I teach this work, this is called integration work. When I teach this work in the programs that I run, a lot of times my ladies get really scared. They're like, Michelle, I don't want to feel that in my body. And I tell them, you're already feeling it in your body. So expand it more to see what shows up, to see what happens. And if you take that fear and don't let go into the story about it, but you breathe into the fear and you go, it's okay that you're here, and you literally talk to it and let it know that you understand why it's there. I understand why you're here, and you're breathing into it. I mean, big, deep breaths, no shallow breathing. We want your breath to go down into your belly, go down into actually your root chakra, because your very first energy center, which is your pelvic floor area, that is safety. That's the energy of safety. And I don't know why my light's going off, but that's the energy of safety and groundedness. So if you're feeling fear, that root chakra is out of balance. So what you want to do is you want to breathe into that root chakra, breathe into that first energy center where your pelvic floor is. Let it expand. Let that area expand with your breath. And I guarantee if you do that at least three really deep, big breaths, it'll start to shift. It's going to start to change. The feeling will actually start to lighten up. It's not going to feel so intense. And then what you want to do is you want to talk to it. You want to say, hey, feeling of fear, I get it. I mean, we are in an uncertain time right now. Life has been turned upside down. We don't know what's going to happen. So I understand why you're here, and it's okay for you to be here. You actually let it be okay that it's there, because it is there regardless of if you're saying it's okay or not. It's there. So that is the very first thing that you want to do with fear.